cooks in the kitchen are in Mexico. We're in Puerto Vallarta in Gringo Gulch in this really nice house with a really nice kitchen. And we are going to make Molé Estofado, Oaxacan Molé Estofado. This is one of them, we were in Oaxaca recently, and this is one of the moles that I had never seen anywhere before. And it shows up all over the place in Oaxaca. And one thing that is common to this is it uses capers. So estofada, it kind of means stew. So this is more of a stew type of mole. You could easily cook the chicken in it, that sort of thing. We scrambled around quite a bit looking for all these ingredients. The raisins, the almonds were here in the house. We found Mexican oregano and sesame seeds. There's a little Semilla store up there. Oh, you get your gas.
It always sounds like political advertisement to me.
Yeah, it does, but you're just selling gas. That people come by all the time selling this stuff. 1 tortilla, 3 guajillos, 2 pasillas, 4 chili de árbol. Found some tomatillos. These are pretty good looking tomatoes. I made some chicken broth with the chicken we got the first time last week. So that's ready to go. And I thought we still had some chicken from that, and we didn't. So we had to run down to the store, get a roasted chicken, bring it up here and shred it before we could make this. So now we're ready. So I have a lot of work to do. I gotta prep these chilies, tomatoes, tomatillos, get all this stuff ready to go, peel the plantain, and we'll come back when it's time to start cooking something. All right, so I've cut up the tomatoes, the tomatillos, I've got my garlic in here, onions, I've seeded the peppers and torn them into pieces. And I am going to add some chicken broth to this. And this is just going to go on the stove, and we're going to let this boil for a little while. You might have to have a little more chicken broth than that. I know how to get it.
Well, you could just dump it in there.
But yeah, it would eventually melt, wouldn't it? So, while this is boiling, we're going to brown our plantain, our tortilla, sesame seeds, and almonds just a little bit. Just toast them a little bit in a frying pan. And that'll get all that stuff ready. All right, so this stuff has all cooked. We are going to go into the blender and turn this to mush. And I'm gonna try and save some of my chicken broth because we have another bunch of stuff to blend that's a lot drier than this. So we'll just see how this goes. I think I'm gonna have to do this in 2 batches. We'll get it all blended up, and then we'll move on to something else. Let's see what that does. It's an old-fashioned kind of blender.
Yeah, it's pretty good. An old Oster.
No buttons, just a turn knob. Found something better. So we'll just pour this Slurpee in here. This is a breakfast smoothie.
Smoothies are popular with tourists in Mexico.
Yeah.
We're always getting their smoothies.
That was, I don't know, it might have been more in Sayulita with all the groovy people.
Yeah, the meditation and the yoga.
Really have to get all of this out of here, but I don't want to.
You just have to pour it.
Well, no, I don't want to use up all my chicken broth.
Oh.
Because I got the spices to grind up, and they're going to need some moisture. I mean, we do have more chicken broth if necessary, but I feel like I'm already making a lot of mole here.
We'll knock on doors in the neighborhood and see who will take it.
Ding dong dash. Yeah, it's funny. There's a door buzzer down at the bottom, and every once in a while, some kid will come by and just press it, just for fun.
We're usually not expecting any guests.
We can most of the time ignore it. Tomorrow the gardener's coming home, but he buzzes twice.
Yeah, he made sure to explain
like
that.
The postman.
He made sure that we understood that.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay.
That would make some mean margaritas, I think.
Yes. Yes, it would. Too bad we're rocks margarita people. All right, so we will reconvene in a minute and get our spice mix working. So our very next trick is going to be to put this spice mix and all the rest of our ingredients, really, except the chicken, in the blender and smoke this all up. Now, traditionally with moles, you'd be doing a lot of these spices would be whole, like cinnamon stick and whatnot, and then you'd have to grind those up. But I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. I have this cute little spoon. I'm not sure what it's really for. Maybe a tablespoon of cumin. And this is allspice, so I'm gonna go with a teaspoon of that. It's a good handy spice. And then I'm gonna put in half a teaspoon of clove. Scant half. Little clove goes a long ways. And I've got this is about a third of a cup of sesame seeds, a third of a cup of almonds. I've got a quarter cup maybe of Mexican oregano, and about a third of a cup of raisins. Kind of a traditional mole mix here. And half a bunch of Italian parsley, which I think is weird, but I looked at quite a few different ways to make this mole, and they all had parsley in them. So, heck yeah, we're gonna do it. And I'm gonna put in some of my juice. Just to make sure that this actually blends. And I think we're golden. Okay. More juice.
Our super duper blender at home works a lot better.
We're going to use all this juice in here anyway, so I might as well just put it all in. It's only 3 cups of chicken broth for all this stuff. Okay. Now we'll reconnoiter and come back for the next step. Get some oil in the pan, and we are going to put our spice mix in here. This is pretty low heat. We're just going to gently cook this. That's really attractive, isn't it?
Not exactly.
But see if I can get most of this in here. And we're just going to gently cook this for about 20 minutes. And then we'll add our tomato stuff to it. Cook it some more. And we'll have our sauce ready to go. All right, so this is cooked along. This stuff has this really great flavor. It's all the raisins and spices. It's fruity and bright, and it's kind of sweet. So I'm going to put in some of my tomato, and I don't know how much of this I'm going to want to use because I don't want to lose the the flavor of the spice mix. I don't want it to get too lost. So we'll see how much of this tomato stuff I use. It's really going to be delicious though. All right, so while this is cooking, I ended up putting all that tomato in here. It tastes great. We're going to add our chocolate now, and this is sweetened chocolate. If we had unsweetened chocolate, we would certainly use that. But that's something close to an ounce of chocolate right there. I don't want to add too much. But this, the flavor of this mole is really unlike any other mole I've made. It's really good. And see what I think about that. Yeah, we'll go with the rest of it. This is 1 3/4 ounces of chocolate, 50 grams. And should be just fine. We'll let this cook a little bit longer, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of this out and add chicken to it, and capers. And if we were at home and we were making this and we could just stick it in the freezer, we would probably put a whole chicken in here and, really just make a stew out of it, which is what the name implies. But since we're on vacation and we don't know how much of this we're going to eat, we're going to take a portion out and add chicken to that. I should also mention that for most of the time we've been here like 10 days now. It's been really quite quiet up here. There's, the Puerto Vallarta hum that you would expect, but not all these sharp noises. And today has been really noisy. So, and they're cooking up some sort of fiesta down below here. So
can't see from here.
It might get even noisier before the day's done. So here we have a beautiful Molé Estofado. It is, it's really delicious. It's not like the other moles. It just isn't quite like the other kids. It's got a really fruity flavor, and it's delicious. So, it also has a little bit of a kick, something about those chilies. So we are going to find ways to use this mole. It's a really great mole. You could just put chicken in it and serve it like a soup, which would be the name, stew, estofado. But we are gonna do something else, like maybe make enchiladas and use this as the sauce. It's gonna be really good. took some of our shredded chicken. This is actually too much. We're gonna make leftovers. And I added some of the mole to it. And we're just gonna heat this up. And then we're gonna build some enchiladas. And with this mole as the sauce, it's gonna be great. So stay tuned. We are about ready to make some enchiladas. Now, this is Kelly's area of expertise, and I'm taking it over. And they might not be as good as hers, but they're gonna be done the way I kind of vision it. So I'm gonna